10K above months.
Downloaded it. I checked the date, July of 2021. And then I left my job in September of 2021.
Since then, I've sold websites. I've pivoted my business. I'm no longer doing social media management.
What has been like your highest month?
13K.
It has literally changed my life.
When you were designing on WordPress, were you charging way less? Like, what is that like?
Yeah, way less. I think my first WordPress was like $500.
$500 for a WordPress site versus like up to $5,000 for a show it site. Welcome back to the episode, you guys. I am seriously freaking out for this because I'm just so excited. This story is going to be so inspiring. I'm inspired and I want to just dive in. I have the beautiful Sami of the studio Sami with me. Hello and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh my God. It's such an honor. Obviously we were just chatting a little bit, but I feel like as soon as we dive deep of your story, your journey, and how you've gotten to where you are, people are going to be floored. I promise you, like people will be coming out the gates in your DMs and be like, girl, tell me your secrets. So I'm so excited.
Thank you.
I love it. Well, why don't you fill us in? Who is Sami?
Okay, I am Sami. I am right now I'm living in Orlando, Florida. I went to college for communications and I did like a minor in digital media. And then I graduated and went right into the corporate world. I love beauty. Like that is my number one thing. All I wanted was to be something like really big on the beauty industry, on the marketing side. But that's like takes forever. And it's very hard and so competitive. It's crazy. So I did internships in college. And then from there, I just started like working in the corporate world. I was working for a beauty company and it was awesome. It was like, it felt just so crazy to be there. And then I ended up just jumping from different jobs, going to a startup, working there, which is where I last was. And I worked as a graphic designer there. And then I ended up starting with you and taking Wealthy Web Designer. And then things just kind of like took off from there. And now I quit my job and I'm doing full-time Studio Sami. So crazy.
Incredible, insane. Obviously, we'll fill the gaps of like how you got to where you are now. But you just told me when that you just quit your job and had your first official day. When? Can you fill in the deets?
So crazy. I quit my job. I put my 2 weeks in. So then that left me my last day being last Thursday. So Friday was my first day, like full Studio Sami. And it's currently Wednesday. No, it's currently Thursday. So it's been almost a week. It's crazy. It's amazing.
How does it feel?
I'm getting so much done. I'm getting so much done. I have so much time. It's crazy. I used to just work nights and in the morning. And now I can like work like the actual full day. It's amazing. I can take my dog to the groomer. I can go to the store. It's amazing.
Unlocked freedom and potential.
Seriously.
So how long were you overlapping? You said you worked nights in your web design business. How long was that era?
Well, I freelanced throughout college. And then after college, I also continued because I wanted to do freelancing. Like I didn't know about like the whole website in a day kind of thing. Like when I saw your stuff, Becca, like I realized there's a whole nother layer to it where you can do these 1 day websites and charge like $3,600. That's just mind blowing to me. And I was doing like $30-$40 an hour work. And I was working like literally all night doing freelancing and contracting for businesses. And at the time, like that was what I thought was like my option. I was saving for a house. I was living with my mom, my fiance and I, we rented for a while, but then we moved in with my mom to save money. And I wanted to get out of there as fast as possible because I felt bad. I was like, I hate that I have to move back in with my mom. It's not like a problem. I'm very lucky I was able to. But I was trying to do everything in my power to get out of that, which is really great timing when I discovered your videos on your TikTok. And then I took Wealthy Web Designer and started implementing those things, built up Studio Sami like for actual seriousness instead of just like my old freelancing where I just like emailed people, hoped for the best, pitched on LinkedIn, stuff like that. It just wasn't effective. And it doesn't work as fast as it could, you know?
Yeah. So when did you find me on TikTok? When did you take Wealthy Web Designer? When was that?
In March. So this past March I did. And I took it over like a weekend and I was like writing notes like crazy. And then I started deep diving into your podcast. I was like listening to every single episode, writing a ton of notes. Like I had a whole like notebook of how to do things, like a million screenshots on my computer. And then I just started like the following Monday. Well, it was probably the following weekend because I had like stuff to do during the week working. I just started building Studio Sami and did the beta launch. And that beta launch is what led me to being able to like meet so many people that have gotten me so many leads. Like referrals are everything. That's what my business is really based off of.
I love that. So March, that was 6 months ago. No, 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But I was
that isn't
exactly, yeah. It's crazy. But I was doing like after work and stuff, and I was still contracting with other companies, so I wasn't able to give it my all. But I still was able to do like websites. Not like I did the beta sale, the 4 betas. I was able to sell that out in a week. It works. Like did what the web designer said, and it sold out. I was so confused. I was like, oh, great. And now it's time to start building websites. It was amazing. And from there, I got like slow referrals, nothing crazy, but I wasn't putting time into my social media. I still have to do that, but and I wasn't like I didn't meet the greatest like people in my network. Like I didn't have like a network at that point. Like I didn't find people that really had great connections. And I feel like that's one of the important things that you do teach a multi-web designer too. You're saying like you can't just help us get leads. Like you're gonna help us like prepare us and how like to do the back end of the business and how to get leads as best as you can. But like when you're in it, you have to put the work into it and figure out how to do it. So not until about 3 months ago was when I actually started getting like consistent people and like leads coming in.
Crazy. And so fill us in where you are now, because you just went full time on Friday. What has been your highest month in your business this far?
Probably last month I did like in 30 days. It wasn't like a 1 to 31, but it was 30 days total. And it was like, I think around like 30 or 35K, which is crazy. And then like 10 days later, I was able to close someone else and like got another 10K. And then now I'm about like 2.5 months into quitting. Well, I mean, I quit my job, but like 2.5 months into having like actual leads. And if I close my next client, like I will be at 66,000, which is really insane and crazy.
How does that feel? Like when you wake up or when you say that out loud, do you like, what does that feel like in your body, in your soul, in your heart? Like, what the hell?
Oh my God. It's like life-changing because I've always been so nervous about like money and stuff like that. And I'm always like super cautious financially, like growing up and stuff. Like my parents gave me the best life they could. And I had a really great life. Like it wasn't anything like crazy, but I always like worried about money. And I was always like, I wanted to make sure that I don't know, like I just got worried. I get nervous and stuff. And also like I'm 25 right now, so hopefully when I do become a mom one day, like that I'll be setting myself up for like financial freedom at that time when I need to take a break, and I could still technically work on things because it's remote. So it's just it's really really like freeing, and like it's just like a nice like relief. Like I just can't believe this is my life.
Oh my God. Well, that is so incredible. I literally have goosebumps on my arms. You obviously can't see them through the screen, but I'm just so proud of you. Like that is so huge. And I think that's what people don't truly understand, is that it's not just like a career change. It's not like, oh, you got a new job. Cute. It's like, no, it's life-changing. It's like really life-changing.
It really is. No, I agree. And I have younger brothers. I'm the oldest of 3. And like, I was just talking to the youngest one before the podcast. He's a senior in high school. And he's like, wait, well, that's possible? Like, it's just not, doesn't compute. It's like, it's also crazy to think that he's in the age of like influencers. So that's like what an influencer does. Like, oh, they can make this much money in like a month, like maybe even more. Yeah. But it's like, it doesn't make sense. Like to him, he's younger. Like, whoa, how did you do that? And I was like, but you could do it with anything. Like, it doesn't have to be web design. It could be like any service you can provide somebody from like a distance, like digitally. If you build the business on the back end, like how you taught, you could really choose any avenue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. I think people don't really realize the opportunities that are out there. And I always say, like, web design is just the vehicle to getting what you want out of life. It's the vehicle to getting your desires, get in your bag, like all the things. But it can be anything. Like, you just have to find what lights you up and gives you purpose and then commit to it. Like, go 100% in it.
Right. No, I totally agree. It can be anything. It's crazy.
It really is. What a crazy world we're living in. Like the fact that so you were working a 9 to 5
Mm-hmm.
3 months ago. 3 months ago, you would wake up, you'd, clock into your job. What was the driving factor for you to feel like, I need to get out of this? I need an escape route. Like, how do I quit this job? Why did you feel that way?
I liked the company I was at. I was there for a while, about like 2 years. It was really great. My boss, love her. But like what I felt that I was putting into this company was so much more. I'm also not like, I don't have a stake in the company. Like, not that anyone does. This is like a privately owned company. Like, it's not normal. But I just felt like I was giving so much when all I could kept thinking on like the day to day is like, what if I was doing this for my business? Like, what if I was using my brain power when I'm getting them to close deals and like pitching giant brands and having them bring in like hundreds of thousands of dollars in clients? Like, I could use that for myself. Like, you know what I mean? But I just didn't know how that would be possible. So I guess like I got lucky in that situation where I was working was in marketing. So I was able to use a lot of things I learned like in the corporate world and bring that into my smaller business, which like really helps you scale because they're kind of they have like some, I don't know, knowledge there. So got lucky.
Yeah, totally. So you wanted to create something for yourself, your own legacy. Like, if you're going to put in the work, why would it be towards someone else's dream and not yours, and advance that much quicker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, totally agree. Yeah.
Because
there's just so many layers.
like totally, like even the pay raise, like obviously I'm basing this off of like what's stereotypical and traditional, but it's so fucking small and insane how you could work your ass off for years and even like you're not even getting a pay raise that is, in comparison to inflation. Doesn't make sense. Insane. But the fact that you are able to grow your income like this, like how fast, the fact that you've made $60,000 in just 2 months is actually wild.
Crazy. I know. And it's like to think about it because it's like there's no limit now. Like that's kind of like the craziest thing for me to like wrap my head around. It's like when I was in the corporate world and I was working, I was as hard as I was working throughout the week. Also, it was a small team. So it's like depending on where you are, like it would depend how hard you're working, but I was doing so many things and getting just like one number, like one, and it was like a fine paycheck. But once I started like outgrowing like the salary I'd be making there, and I was like, okay, it's a no brainer to go full time. At least just like, I of course weighed the pros and cons. Like I have like a savings in case things go south, but it won't go south because it's going well. And like, it's almost like data backed. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not just like taking this ginormous risk. Like I have things on the back burner and like on the back end of my business that are like propelling me to this part. So I don't think it's like that crazy to do something like this, especially if you're in the situation. And then something else I was just thinking of is I had like my dream job. I looked up the salary, and at the time when I was like graduating college and stuff, it was a lot of money to me, like 100, I think it was like a little over 100,000. That was my dream job. Like that, I would be putting every ounce of my like effort into getting to that point and then getting that salary. Like once you see what else could be done and could be made, it's like, why? That makes me like, I feel bad. Like there's so much opportunity for people that maybe they just don't know. I don't know. It also takes a lot of work. It's not just like an overnight, like waking up kind of thing.
Absolutely. It takes work. It takes determination. It takes commitment, but also it's fucking worth it. Like you're so rewarded by it.
Yeah, I would stay up till like 3 a.m. some nights, just working on freelancing things and stuff for Studio Sami, and just trying to like prep the back end for like the email automations and all that stuff that might come in. Like I don't know, I wanted to be prepared. And once I launched and like all that stuff was done, I was just so relieved. Like all those hours were worth it. I was so cranky at the time, but it was worth it because like it's crazy how I am right now.
It really is. And so you had freelanced and done, stuff on the side for a while. Do you remember what you first charged for one of your like first websites ever?
Yeah, I remember my first ever, I didn't even do a website. My first one was I pitched like a hair salon that I went to, and I like signed up for their email knowing that it was going to be ugly. And I was like, hey girl, I can help you. And she's like, actually, I don't need help with that, but we are looking to rebrand. And I was like, perfect. Because that was kind of like my thing at the time. I loved graphic design. So my first rebrand, I did like a whole like suite with like a ton of marketing materials. It was all for like 700. Well, I think I said 700 and she's like, how about 5? I was like, okay. And so that was, that was so crazy, but you got to start somewhere,
100%, 100%.
It was so funny, but it was fun, and it was my first time. It was my first project. But then for websites, no, I was charging like very low. I think my first website that I did was for a personal trainer. Oh no, actually, it was for somebody else. It was for an influencer, and she paid me. I think I asked for like maybe it was like 600. And then when I finished, I was like, okay, next time I cannot charge 600. I was working so many hours. It was on Wix, which whatever. Not my fave.
Yeah.
But after show it, I was like, I can't believe I worked on Wix. It's
Truly.
so crazy. Yeah.
That is insane. I had such a similar experience when I was charging, like $1,200 for a site on WordPress, and I would literally spend like, it felt like a year of my time. I was like, I am so burnt out off that one project. I'm so exhausted. I made $1,200. Like I basically made like one project. I remember doing the math on how much time I put into it. And it was literally me making like $3 an hour. And I was like, this is a joke.
No.
Like, this is a joke.
My God. It looks like a lot at some point. And then when you start breaking it down, it's like, no. And it's amazing because with your method with website in a day, you like, not that I don't like my clients. Trust me, I love them. They're so nice. I'm not going to work with someone I don't like, but you only get to talk to them for like one day. It's really a game changer. And then you set them up with the tutorials. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
Just the concept is so good.
So you charged $600 for your first website. What was your highest website to date?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I closed one 13,500. So there's 13,500. And it's a big site, but like it's a good
Insane.
It's amazing. Like it's crazy.
I feel like that deserves like a slow clap. Like we need to like really like celebrate that. That's incredible.
I was able to do 2 of those to like another company too. But the thing is like people are paying this because they go to other companies and they're getting like what is it called? Like they get pitched, I guess, like 70,000 for a site. And like I get it. If it's an agency, they have people to pay. Like they have to charge that. And then for like they can come to me and get the same thing and maybe even better. Well, actually it will be better because like they're
100%.
doing it's like only one person, for like less money. So it's a no-brainer. And then also I do a lot of like upselling with SEO and stuff like that. So I've been kind of like teaching myself, and I knew about it because I worked in like marketing, but I've been like extra learning like SEO and how I can benefit people's business and doing like a retainer with that. So that's been really helpful too.
I love that. No, you're so right too, because agencies, I have friends that own agencies and it's like $75,000 for a very simple website. Right. And the biggest question I get asked is, oh, but who's paying, $5K or $10K for a show at website? And I'm like, thousands and thousands of people. Like you have no idea. Millions, like so many fucking people are getting quoted these astronomical numbers. And also guess what? They wouldn't be able to go in and make a single edit. Like they couldn't go in and edit anything on their website.
Yeah. No, it's a crazy because also like being like, it's convenient for your client too, because a lot of them, I give my phone number to. I'm very like casual about it. They'll text me like randomly like, oh, can we switch this? And it's like, you know what? Yes, we can. If you need something small, like I'll just add it into my to-do list. And if I have time, like I'll do it. And then that builds like such a rapport with them that they come back for you for other things. So it's really amazing how it's all working.
That's a great reminder even for word of mouth, because if you're going to get referrals, if you're going to rely on that, like you have to create this kick ass experience for them to where they are like, no, I'm obsessed with Sami. She's the best person on my team. And they think of you like that. So then when they're at a networking event or they're talking with their friends, they're like, oh, you need a web designer? I got you.
No, totally. And like you said, referrals are everything. And truly, like when you just mentioned that, I made this really great connection through a referral that I had from just like I did a website in a day for somebody, and it was a beta sale client, and it was it was literally like 3 pages. Like it was nothing crazy for a photographer. And he had somebody who he knew, and they reached out to me for a website. They're like, they were a bigger brand. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. They have this big network of people that they work with. And they pulled me after I worked with them. They were like, what do you think about being like, if anyone in our network needs something, we refer you and you give us 10%. And I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. And just that has gotten me majority of my clients, and 10% is not a lot. So it's just money I wouldn't have had, people I wouldn't have been able to connect with. And then each time I get one of their referrals, someone that person knows calls me. And I'm not giving them 10% anymore. Like it's a whole nother, it's seriously crazy.
It really is. I think people don't understand the power and opportunity of having other people market for you. I think marketing is people's like worst nightmare. And I always say, partner with people. Like I literally yesterday on our masterclass broke down this analogy that I have a client that gets $1,000 for every website in a week. Website in a week is $13,000. Okay. So that's $1,000 out and a $12,000 profit. So literally if she sends 10, that's $10,000 profit for her and $120,000 for us. Like that is the power of having people market your service.
100%. And even if it's like I reach out to this photographer that I know, and I know she works with very high-end clients, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in a partnership? I like messaged her the other day, and she's like, yes, like I will give your name out to everybody. And I was like, you'll get 10%. So I'm just like excited for that to start happening and like things like that. And I'm not even doing the work at that point. It's like I almost have like that's not actually a staff at all, but like I have people that are like doing the work for me for my sales cycle. Like what?
It's so incredible. So with having so many clients, like how out of 100%, what has been referral based? What has been from outreach, or what's been from inbound, like social media?
Okay. Inbound social media, my 4 beta sales, 5, I'm trying to think. I would say the last, actually, it's hard. I'm getting so many clients. I'm so excited. This
like,
is crazy.
oh, let me think about this for a second.
I can't believe
not a bad problem to have. Okay, not a bad problem.
This is wild. Okay, I'd probably say like 40% are referrals, and then the other 60 are coming in DMs.
Yeah. Love. That's like,
it's really
that's what I try and get people to sit around. Like if you can kind of diversify outbound, inbound referrals so that it's like this cycle, you are building something truly sustainable.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy. And but seriously, like the referrals are the game changer. I can't even think, I don't know where I'd be without them. Like that's like the main thing. And people were DMing me actually like that, saw the post that you made about me on your page. And I was like, you're asking me? I was so honored. And I was like, girl, you have to get people to give you referrals. And I felt so bad because she posts so much on her socials. She's like killing it social wise. And I'm like, wait, why isn't it translating? But honestly, it takes one person. Like if you get one right person, it could change your life. Like network.
It's so true.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And really like being willing to put yourself out there too, because there's really like 2 ways to do it. You could either do it digitally, which is like lead gen. And it's this whole analogy of like, basically you're just going to networking events, but online and like putting yourself out there, shaking hands with people and being like, hey, we're in the same world, or going in person to networking events. If you're close to a major city or even small towns have it, like go to a networking event where they're all business owners. You just have to put yourself out there. But if you can get over the fear of that, because I know that That's scary. But
No, it
if
is.
you can get over that, it's like it truly unlocks this whole potential.
I agree. I never ever like put my face on social before, like in my freelancing career. I was so scared. But I remember in your wealthy web designer, you were like, just do it. And once you get your first paycheck, you'll say, I'll put my face on any day. And it worked.
Truly.
Like I did my face. I talked to my audience. I even cross posted on my personal account. I only had 300 followers. Like I don't have a lot of followers, but people just, they liked it. They were like, oh, you have a website in a day? How is that possible? And all these things. I'm like, I'll tell you more. Like, give me a DM. And you said closing the DMs. Also, that works. Like, recommended sending voice memos in the DMs. That's how I communicate primarily. I've gotten all of them closed. Like, it's really crazy.
That you are like honestly a star. You're a star student. If anyone is listening to this, yes, truly though, because you're so open to learning, which I love. Like you mentioned in the very beginning of this that you took Wealthy Web Designer in 2 days and just like vigorously took notes. And then you went to the podcast and just took notes. Like that is learning. That's like receiving knowledge. And then you clearly were like, okay, I just like took in all this knowledge. I was scared to put my face online. I was like all these things, didn't know how to close people in the DMs, but I just learned. And now I'm going to do it. I'm going to take action, which is chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
No, it's crazy. It's also just like mind blowing that like you made this course, like, and I'm talking to you. Like that's what really, it just like it just mind blowing. Like I've been watching you and Willow, it feels like for so long, like trying to, I would literally think in my head in situations, like when I was talking to people in the DMs, like what would Becca say to do in this situation? Like even my fiance knows your name. Like you're like a household name at this point. Like I was like, he literally said to me the other day, he's like, why don't you DM Becca and ask her? I'm like, Michael, I don't think she wants, I don't know if that's like a friendly thing. Like you are a household name. It's so funny because like you like changed our lives. Like, you know what I mean? Like we both live together. Like it's just, it's crazy.
Wow. I actually want to dive more into that. His name's Michael. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. What does your fiance think about the whole thing? Like from start of you finding, like being like, hey, I found this random chick on TikTok. Like, I think I'm going to take this course, Wealthy Web Designer. What did he think?
Okay. Originally, he's like supportive of all the things that I want to do, because there was a point where I tried to grow my freelancing business and I'm like, I got this. I'm going to get people on retainer. And I got like one person on retainer and it was working way too hard. It wasn't working out. So then when I found your TikTok, I told him about it. I knew the price would throw him off, which this is the thing. If you're in the world and you're like looking at your courses, it's not a lot of money because you make it back the first website you sell. Like it's literally not that crazy. But for somebody who doesn't watch your TikTok and is not like immersing himself in the web design experience, it's probably a little off-putting. Like, I'm going to buy a course for $1,000. And he's probably like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, just like any other random person selling a course. Like, no, but this is actually legit. Like, it's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't know. So I didn't tell him that I bought it. I just did. And I said that, well, oh, you know what it was? You gave a free course. So I took the free one. I don't know. I forgot what it was. It was short. It was like a 3... And I think you gave a template.
Creative career course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I took that.
Yes.
And I was taking all the notes and I was like, okay, like that's what ultimately led me to get Wealthy Web Designer. Cause I was like, okay, like this is already giving me so much information. Like this next level has to be crazy. And so I bought Wealthy Web Designer and then he didn't know. I had asked him, I was like, I'm going to buy the library. He was like, what is the library? And not that he like needs my finances at all because we don't share a bank account, but I just want to let him know, you know, we're saving for a house at this point. So like every dollar counts. And then once I told him about it all, I was building it so late at night and I felt bad. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like staying up till 2, you want to watch TV, but like, I really feel like this is going to work. Like, and I would say so many times, like, I'm really sorry. He's like, no, Sammy, like if you really feel like this is going to work, like I trust you. And I showed him your TikToks. I was like, she makes $1 million a year. Like that could be us. You never know. And he was like, you know what? I believe in you. Like, go for it. Let's do it. You're already like putting too much effort into like freelancing for clients and putting so many hours in. So like, why not just do something like this too? And then once I went live and got my first client, he was like, wait, that's crazy. How did that happen? And I was like, I don't know. It's Becca magic. And now we're at like this point where he's like really shook. Like, oh my God. I was like, wait, maybe you can quit your job one day and like figure out how to work for me in a way. Like, I don't even know. Cause I told him about Willow and I was like, this is a thing people do. I don't know. He's so excited
Wow.
because he never thought we'd get to this point. Neither did I.
Mm.
And he's just like, he's really supportive of it all, and like is just so happy that like we're able to like live this life. I mean, we're living in a house, like we're able to buy a house, pay our mortgage. Like one website in a day pays the mortgage. Just got to get one a month,
Wow.
and we're good. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Insane. I literally have goosebumps. It's just such a testament of what's possible and like what's truly out there. And I love a supportive king. Like, we are here for supportive kings. Like, way to go. But also, I understand his like hesitance, like in the beginning, being like, what are you talking about? Like, you found
How
this
is
chick
that
on
real?
TikTok. Right. I
Yes.
understand.
Yeah.
But
it is real.
the fact that he is supportive and is like now reaping the benefits, and now it almost sounded like a door was opened and unlocked, where now it's even like, yes, it's expanded your potential, and now you're like, I want to get to $1 million years. I like so know that I could do it. Like, the fact that you're hitting what you're hitting, you absolutely could run an agency within 1 year and have $1 million plus business. I believe in you for that. But also the fact that you have expanded his door now, like his potential now is unlocked. And if you guys come together, it reminds me so much of Willow and I's story, and like truly so much potential. I'm just fucking excited for you.
Thank
It's
you.
so
Oh my
cool.
God, I don't think you understand. Like, this would not have been possible if I did not see your TikToks. Like, anyone watching, seriously, buy Wealthy Web Designer. You can get it on the Black Friday sale. It doesn't matter. It's worth it. Like, I can't even say anything like more highly. Oh, and then you mentioned, I know, I hope we're not going over time, but you mentioned like in the Wealthy Web Designer course, like make fake websites and like just be like, oh yeah, this is one of my clients and all these things. And I like made a handful of templates, and I love designing. So like that was fun for me to be able to like think about like what would this person want in a website. And at that point I wanted to niche down to influencers, because I know it was like back and forth, like pick your niche, do you not want to, like that was a big part of the course, like are we niching down? And I was like, you know what, like I'm going to try niching down to start. I know you were like, be open-minded, like maybe you'll get other clients, which now that's like my like whole business. I don't have a specific niche. It's just entrepreneurs that need things. But I love it. And at one point I was like, I want to do influencers websites. Influencers that are like, they don't have that much budget, to be honest. I didn't realize that. So I built all my websites for influencers that needed something and like geared it all towards them. So when I did have people that were like seeing them, a lot of the times they were like, oh, I can't afford that website in a day. I'm like, oh no, I just did all this stuff for that. But that's when you can get photographers that can still use the photographers, is what really helped me. They were still able to use the stuff I made for template wise. And then I just expanded from there. And you can just like use the base of all your templates that you make and like customize them to fit each project, and they don't look anything alike. So it works that way too.
Yeah, I love that. So what's next for you? Like, so much opportunity, so much potential, but what's on the horizon?
I'm working on a lot of projects right now. I'm trying to get like my marketing strategy in place, because I'm only one person. So it's like kind of hard to figure out when I'm going to have time to work on my own brand and my own business. So I'm trying it out. It's my first week like working full time on this. So like next week I put like one day where I'm just going to do social content, because I want to be active on social. Because I don't know, I feel like it's just, I know that originally I thought social would be really just used for leads, and that was like my thought process. But now it's kind of like it's the long game. Like I want someone to be able to go on my social and just know that like I am an expert in this like business and like in this department, and they can trust me, like whether that's face to face or like static images or carousel. Like I just want them to know that they can trust me, almost like my own little like portfolio on Instagram, you know? Of course it's good for leads too, but I need to focus on that because I don't really have much on there. But when I was posting though, like I think I just got lucky in the situation, but anytime I posted a reel, I would get like one swipe up and like a lead. And that was really good. I didn't post that much. So it's like, maybe if I keep doing that, people will come. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
You're getting
incredible.
it.
And also
Thank you.
maybe figuring out how to get your fiance in the biz.
Oh my God, I know. I need to figure it out. I think I need to. He does project management, so he's like really good at that stuff, which is so helpful because it took me an entire day. I have like a client portal I built out on Notion, but now I moved it over to Monday because it was just sometimes slow a little bit. But anyway, I built out so many client portals and then like my own side of it, and it took me like a whole day. I'm like, not a whole day on portals. Like, what is happening? So I need to figure out a way to like make this faster. I think it's just comes with like time. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get faster.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I am so excited for you. So proud of you. I could not say it more. If someone is listening to this and like, let's say they're so inspired by your story, because naturally everyone will be, but they're like still scared. Like, let's say they're like, I really want to, maybe they found me on TikTok. And so they're listening to the podcast and they're like, I want to take the courses, but I'm scared. I don't know if I can do it, or I don't know what the potential is. What would you say to someone like that?
Oh my goodness. You really should take the risk. First, you don't have to put that much time into it in the beginning. Like, no joke, I was able to close clients. I had a $10,000 month in the beginning, and I was only working at night. And that was not that many hours a night. Like, it was really crazy. So if you just put a little bit of work into it every single day, you will make your money back first month. Like, I can't say guarantee, but if you put enough work, you will. Like, it will be fine. And then also in the courses, if you're like teetering on the edge, wealthy web designer, you're not just like learning how to make a website in a day. Like, no, you're building the back end of your business. Like, I would not know much of what I would know, but like not as much as I did about like email automations. What are we putting in when we're saying like, let's get you ready to do your website in a day? Like, what are we asking for? Those things are everything's there. Like, I was just crazy. Seriously, it's like, it's the best money I've spent by far. I'd buy it again. Just to be nice. I'd give it to my brother.
That's testimonial.
It's
I'd buy it again. Oh my God, I love you.
I want to buy the passive project though. Passive project's my next one that I'm going to buy. Wait, did I buy CEO of Show It? I think I might have.
I think
I bought CEO of Show It.
Do you have designer day rate?
No. But
you need designer day rate and passive passion project.
That's what I need, yeah. I love it.
Yeah. That's what you need.
Like
Black Friday.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's like the chips and guac. Those two courses are like chips and guacamole. Okay. You're not going to just get chips and you're not going to just get guac. You're going to get the chips and guac. Like, you need both.
Right. No, it makes sense. And it's like, it's helpful. I mean, I can't imagine it's not. Like, if this got me here, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I'm so excited. But even anyone that's listening, like all the free resources that you do give, I think I might be your number one fan, honestly. Like, this is embarrassing. But all the free resources you give too much information, Becca. You're giving too much for free. Like, I made money off your free stuff. So it's like, you have to charge for it. But maybe it's a good point, because then it's like, I bought the other thing. Anyway, I get it. Yeah. But
oh my God,
if you're listening, you.
I adore you. People are going to be obsessed with you. Where can people come hang out with you on social media? Where can people become besties with Sami?
Oh my gosh, thank you. It's called studiosami.co on Instagram. And one day I'll have a TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah. One day. That's okay. That's okay. It's not for everyone.
I know it's hard to manage both. You know?
Yeah.
I guess I could just cross post. I don't know. We'll see.
That's a good strategy. I like that strategy. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Seriously, so exciting. So proud of you. I could not be like more excited for the potential. And seriously, in 1 year, we're going to do a check-in on the podcast. You're going to have $1 million agency. Your husband's going to be full-time with you. Like, you have that in the bag.
Stop. Okay. I'm so excited.
So excited.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, go hang out with her. I have all of her socials, website, and stuff linked down below. Go make friends. You're incredible. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you. So much.
I can't believe this happened. I'm freaking out. I love that, guys.
So amazing. Oh my gosh. You are so cute. And with that, you guys, I'll see you guys next episode. Bye.